Alright. Dear graduating class of 2019, your time has finally come to move on from the comfort of adolescence into this ugly, smelly, utterly gross world of adulthood. I'm supposed to reflect on my time in high school and come up with some mature, life-changing advice and pretend that I'm not still a child. If I have to be honest, my time in high school wasn't the best. In fact, it was pretty terrible. At the beginning of high school, I was desperate to make new friends. My biggest value at the time was being liked. Since I was trying so hard to be liked, I ended up with a lot of very shallow friendships instead of a few close ones. This isn't what I wanted. I can't say I was very true to myself either. I had put a mask on and acted type A, but that couldn't be farther from who I was. I figured I needed to be more honest with myself and take off the mask. That way I would be left with only the people who really cared. At least that's how it worked out in my head. This didn't quite have the effect that I wanted. Slowly, all my friends started to leave me. That was until I was left with nobody. This left me lonely and depressed for a really long time. I began to think that there was something wrong with me that no one was telling me. Unbeknownst to me, the reason why I felt this way was because I hadn't let go of my old toxic values. One of my biggest values was still being liked by others, and as a result, I couldn't help but compare myself to others. I began to only see the flaws in myself. I was in a really bad mental state, and I wanted out. I felt trapped. That's when I made an important step in the right direction by deciding to quit social media. That's when I started to change my values for the better. By doing that, I began to put more value on my mental and emotional health. I began the habit of meditation. I began to stop comparing myself to others, and I began to care less about how others saw me. Seeing this change my mental state motivated me to continue to address my toxic values and replace them with better ones. One of the biggest things I wanted to change was my grades. I had started valuing my academics and in a larger sense my own self-development. I began to study a lot more for my tests, and as a result of doing this, I had managed to end the year with nearly straight A's, while taking some decently hard classes. The next big change I wanted to make was to my physical health. I had previously only passively went to the gym. I hadn't kept a certain schedule, nor did I really do anything meaningful when I went. I usually had only casually walked on the treadmill. I started to make it a habit to go to the gym regularly. I began lifting weights and taking cardio more seriously. I began to slim down and bulk up. By making health one of my primary values, I had lost a good amount of weight and improved my perspective on life tremendously. The next thing I wanted to do was put more value on my own self-worth. And as a result, I started to value my time quite a bit more. I cut down on my media and video game usage, and then I tried to get rid of all the other people who didn't really value my time. Next thing I did was to get to the place where I am today was quitting my part-time job as a lifeguard, which made me miserable. Even though I got paid, I felt that staring at a nearly empty pool all day, every day, was really not the best use of my time, and that there were so many more fulfilling and productive things I could have and should have been doing instead. Guess when all is said and done, my quality of life had done a 180, and it was all because I had reassessed my values in life. Everyone's values are different, and most of the time they're invisible. It's not until you dig deep within yourself that you find what pushes you forward or slows you down. But once you do, it can change your life forever.